been an absolutely horrific crime to know, and the bone-chilling details have just left me absolutely stunned, and my sincere condolences to the father and the mother and those who are bereaved. It's really a horrendous crime. There's not much I can say except at this point of time, if you permit me, a couple of things.
Yeah, of course.
The one that you touched upon yourself, I'll come to that a bit later, but I think it's too early to talk about this in more detail because the investigations have just started.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to me, prima facie, to be a case of impersonation, i.e. love jihad, and it doesn't also seem to me to be a case of a religious motive, at least on the face of it, like others have been previously. There have been terrible murders committed in interfaith marriages that have happened, that have had distinctly as borne out by investigations to have religious motive. In this case, it doesn't. But because you asked, Rahul, what attributes really a religious motive to such crime, and it's very difficult to say, and that is one of the problems, because some people have been so selective in the past that they immediately attribute a religious motive when it's not there. Like in this case, it's not very apparent. But if the perpetrator was a Hindu or a Dalit and the victim was a Muslim, then the headlines would be that a Hindu man murders a Muslim woman. I mean, we've seen this so many times before, and in fact people on social media have made these these panels where on side one the same magazine says something else, and side two, when the perpetrator is Muslim, the things are omitted. And so I want to perhaps kind of coax my fellow panelists into a more philosophical thing. What really constitutes whether a case is communal or not? Very briefly, 30 seconds, let's take Palghar example. I mean, the ready identification of a saffron-clad sadhu was not enough for it to be attributed to a communal hate crime. What, for example, if instead of the Palghar in sadhus, it was a sherwani-clad, cap-wearing Maulana from UP, and the UP police had taken him, this Maulana, and thrown him to the wolves? What would the magazines and the other media would be saying? Would they not be attributing a communal motive to that? So these are the questions that we need to ask, but of course they would come at a later stage. Today, of all days, it has to be a sincere condolences and maybe a reflection on, as you correctly put it, whether we are a deeply fractured society at this point of time to even identify what brings about such crimes.
I know. I am getting this feeling